What's going on, everyone? Happy Saturday to everyone. Welcome to the Saturday edition of the Climate Update for Saturday, July 1st, 2023, 4th of July weekend. Taking a look at the national satellite picture, we can see all is quiet on the West Coast for today. However, in the Great Lakes and the Midwest, we do have this slow-moving upper-level system that is moving along a boundary, and this is going to provide yet again another day of severe weather for portions of the Midwest in Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, even portions of Ohio, and some portions of this area are under an enhanced risk for severe thunderstorms. This system will slowly move northeast, but will not actually exit the picture until sometime on Monday, and there could even be showers that linger into Tuesday across portions of the Northeast. Taking a look at the air quality situation today, you can see there is still poor air quality values from about South Carolina on up into portions of New England, with the worst of it being across the Berkshires of Massachusetts, and even into Vermont and portions of upstate New York. You're still dealing with that wildfire smoke. Taking a look at the national hazards for today, as stated, the air quality is still a concern in the Northeast and across portions of Michigan and even parts of Wisconsin. You do have air quality alerts. In the South today, we do have extreme heat, which continues. Slightly better in Texas today. However, across the Gulf Coast region, places like Louisiana and Mississippi, the National Weather Service is going with heat indexes of 105 to 115 degrees. That's extreme heat. Limit your time outdoors and drink plenty of water. There's also extreme heat expected today across portions of Arizona and Texas, and even up into places like Washington State and Oregon. There is extreme heat expected today. Heat indexes could get over 110 degrees. Taking a look at the national radar picture here, you can see showers and thunderstorms are ongoing across portions of Ohio. Another round is expected this afternoon, as the Storm Prediction Center is calling for another enhanced risk day. And as you can see here, severe thunderstorm watches are starting to go up now across portions of Missouri, Illinois, even down into Tennessee. Places like Nashville, you do have severe thunderstorms that have already started to erupt. Taking a look at the convective outlook for today, you can see they're going with a 5% tornado chance across portions of Illinois and Indiana today. Wind is hatched at 30%, hatched meaning that there could be a locally high wind gust, and widespread damage is possible with any storm. And there's also the threat of hail for today. We also have this large marginal risk that extends up into portions of upstate New York and Pennsylvania. There's another slight risk across central Texas, and you can see in the northern Rockies there is a marginal risk of severe weather for today. On the day 2 outlook, we do see there is another large slight risk area that extends from the Ohio Valley and the Tennessee Valley straight on through to the Mid-Atlantic. We'll have to watch if that gets upgraded to an enhanced risk. As of right now, there is no 30% area for wind, but based on the way things have been going lately, it wouldn't be surprising if it does get upgraded, because remember, the wildfire smoke that is still around, it's been providing extra energy. Remember that event the other day, just 2 days ago, where there were over 500 storm reports across portions of the Midwest? That was enhanced because of the wildfire smoke. Moving on here, taking a look at the reports from yesterday, there were 5 tornado reports, 250 wind reports, 8 of them being really high reports, 119 hail reports, with 11 extremely large hail reports, 374 reports total. Taking a look at the one-day outlook from the WPC for excessive rainfall, there is a slight risk that is in effect for portions of the Midwest and also upstate New York. Moving on into tomorrow now, taking a look, here's tomorrow. You can see there is a slight risk from the Ohio Valley on up, even into portions of Maine, where 1 to 2 inches of rain is expected with storms, with locally up to 3 inches of rainfall possible in any heavier downpour. Nothing to report from the National Hurricane Center today. That disturbance we were watching the other day is no longer an issue. Taking a look here at the satellite picture in the Atlantic, and you can see here, all is fairly quiet. Any systems that are out there are relatively disorganized and not a concern at this time. Taking a look at the latest HRRR model, you can see severe thunderstorms will erupt again this afternoon across portions of Kentucky and Indiana. Straight line winds is a big threat, and any storm could contain gusts up to 60 to maybe even 70 miles per hour. And you can see at the end of this, showers start to break out in the northeast, and unfortunately, that is really going to fill in tomorrow. Places like New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, maybe even western Massachusetts. Second half of this weekend is not looking great at all. In fact, it's going to be cloudy, rain, and there could even be some heavy rain at times. And you can see tomorrow we do have strong to severe thunderstorms across Virginia, southeast Pennsylvania. But looking at the rest of the country, relatively quiet except for the northern plains. And as we head into 4th of July, unfortunately, some places will see thunderstorms, such as northern Wisconsin, northern Minnesota. Quiet on the west coast. Showers may continue again in the northeast, but it's not going to be as active as it is Sunday into Monday. The heaviest of the rainfall with this system will be probably tomorrow afternoon into Monday for the northeast, and then it's just more isolated, scattered afternoon activity. Taking a look at the longer range on the GFS model, you can see here, unfortunately, another system will be coming out of the plains, and that's going to cause more showers and thunderstorms, perhaps severe weather across portions of the Midwest and even down here into Oklahoma. Maybe you will see some much needed rainfall, but it's not going to be that much to add up to anything. Then this system kind of gets hung up in the east, and it's too early to tell, but it could stall in the northeast next weekend and produce very heavy rainfall. Let's take a look at the temperatures over the next week, and we can see the hot weather will continue in the south, day after day of extreme heat, and eventually it will build back into Texas. And places like Arizona, you could see high temperatures, not heat indexes, high temperatures up to 110 degrees with heat index approaching 120 degrees. As we get into the middle of next week, we can see the heat does try to build into the northeast. Multiple days of 90s are possible along the I-95 corridor from Maine down through Philadelphia, even into southeast region. And as we get into next weekend, that system does come, and that's going to provide cooler than average temperatures for the northeast, as you'll be stuck in the clouds and potentially maybe a heavy rainfall event as it looks right now. Taking a look at the drought situation, drought conditions do continue over Texas, and we expect that to continue. In fact, that's going to get much worse. We're not too concerned about the other regions right now, like the Mid-Atlantic. That could eventually wipe itself out. Taking a look at the 1 to 7 day precipitation totals, you can see here the highest precipitation amounts are going to be generally from the Ohio Valley on up into the northeast, but anywhere in the south, daily showers and thunderstorm activity is why you're seeing so much precipitation being advertised on the map. But Florida, with exceptions to southern Florida, where they are calling for some heavier rainfall here, generally about normal to maybe even slightly below average. Remember, summertime is usually a wetter period in Florida. Now taking a look at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, you can see much of the central region of the U.S. well below average temperatures. Above average in the northeast, because again, remember, we could hit 90s at the end of the week. Above average in Florida, above average continues in the south, well above average in the Pacific Northwest, and below average in California. 8 to 14 day temperature outlook shows the below average temperatures continue into the east. Keep in mind, we're going to have that system in the northeast. It's saying it's slightly above average here. That could end up being wrong if we have a stalled system up there, because clouds and shower activity would limit temperatures, and extreme heat continues in the south. Dangerously hot conditions in Texas and Florida, above average in the Pacific Northwest, and above or below average temperatures, in California. 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, I definitely agree with this. Well above average precipitation from the plains on into the Midwest, Great Lakes, and right into the Northeast, where we have these multiple systems that keep coming through providing precipitation. Below average precipitation in the Four Corners region. And finally, 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook, above average in the Northeast, above average in the plains, well below average in California. You're not going to go back into drought conditions, but it's going to continue to be much drier than it was over the winter, and we are looking at near normal precipitation down in Florida. We will have another update, maybe again tomorrow. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to my channel down below. And thanks for watching. Enjoy the weather wherever you're at.